I'm really passionate about the topic of like equal pay for women. So
Okay.
as the next president of the United States, how do you feel you're going to address this problem and like help
We need
deal
to
with
enforce the laws that are on the books. We got plenty of laws on the books now to make sure that women get equal pay for the work that they do. And I am someone who is passionate about that issue as well for a few reasons. First reason is that my mother was a very strong, very direct woman who demanded that she be treated absolutely equally with any man she worked with and any man in her household. And sometimes unequally, actually. She wanted to be treated better. Then I moved on from that first female relationship in my life to my current female relationship. My wife graduated from college in the mid-1980s. There's no reason to give an exact date, but in the mid-1980s. And she went immediately into what was an extraordinary male bastion. She went to work on Wall Street. Now, women working on Wall Street now is much, much more prevalent than it was 30 years ago. 30 years ago, there were very few women working on Wall Street. And she went there, and she never once tolerated anybody being able to say to her that a guy could do something that she couldn't do. And she showed them. And the proof of that is that not only should equal pay for women be the rule, I want to give you a little advice, Paige. For 30 years, I've been married to Mary Pat. This March 8th, 30 years. Thank you. Believe me, that applause was for her. And every year, I mean every year for the past 30 years, Mary Pat Christie has out-earned Chris Christie. Every year. Every year. Another bit of proof about what I'm passionate about, whether it's equal pay or better pay for people who perform great jobs. Here's the biggest reason I'm passionate about it. We have 2 daughters. Sarah's 19 and Bridget is 12. And what Mary Pat and I have taught them over and over again, and I'm sure you're being taught as well, is that a woman's self-worth comes from inside her, not from any man. I want my daughters never to feel as if their sense of self-worth, their sense of who they are, how valuable and special they are, comes from whatever relationship they have with any man. It comes from inside you. You have been given extraordinary gifts from God that with hard work you can make the most of. And nobody should either restrict you from doing that or tell you how to do it as a way of directing you, just encouraging you. And so I'm passionate about this because in my life, I have been surrounded by nothing but really strong women with really strong opinions. And I want really strong daughters to continue that tradition. And so I will enforce the laws, President of the United States, to make sure that you go to work and you do a great job and you do a job just as great as the man sitting in the office next to you, that you make sure that your paycheck looks no different than his when you go home every 2 weeks. That's what we'll do, Paige.
Thank you.